And a great big hey howdy hey to all my goofy goobers out there. Welcome back to Animanic Commentaries with Comic Ozzy.
And DF, ni hao, konnichiwa, because I'm not sure where we're supposed to be.
I mean, I think we're in the Philippines, or at least somewhere Thailand adjacent.
I thought it was supposed to be Southeast Asia.
Yeah, Southeast Asia. It's that general vicinity. It's not really
So,
one specific nation.
Like maybe Indonesia.
Yeah. But tonight we're gonna be watching Raya and the Last Dragon, Disney's first animated feature.
Vietnam, Malaysia. Oh, I thought Philippines was a little more north, but that makes more sense.
But the what was I saying? I was saying the fucking. Yeah, the movie released in 2021, the first animated movie Disney had released since the pandemic, hit, and also the first Disney animated feature to not release in theaters. Like, really think about this. Aside from your Toon Disney or like your odd direct-to-video movie that somehow gets a theatrical release, Walt Disney Animation has always released their movies in theaters until Raya and the Last Dragon. So this is a first. This is definitely a first.
I mean, they had to. No one was going to see it.
It was
the beginning of 2021. People were only just getting vaccinated. Well, at least, I think they got it for the theatrical release this year, but definitely not in the initial release.
No, definitely not. And yes, the biggest and probably only reason for that simply being that they couldn't. It just wasn't possible.
Like with most movies in 2020 and 2021.
Mm-hmm. It seemed like entertainment was in a really weird spot. And so Raya and the Last Dragon came out at a very bizarre time.
Not Disney's fault.
No. It also just so happens to be a coincidence that there is this isolating, catastrophic event in the world in this movie.
You're right. Damn.
I wonder how much, like, if they retooled anything or if they were just like, wow, that was lucky,
Damn, you're right.
It's... Because I felt that when I watched it. It was like, hey, wait a minute. That's hello, Dylan. That's just just what it is. It was originally called the Dragon Empire. I mean, how far back would that have been? Because when it was announced at D23, when Raya had a much more brilliant color palette, being this white dragon with these blue and pink accents, it was still known as Raya and the Last Dragon. So
I've only seen this movie once while I was babysitting.
I think I've seen this movie at least a couple of times. It's not a recommended watch. So let's watch it.
There's maybe one thing I like about it. One thing that would have made the whole movie if they'd done more with it.
Probably. And I know exactly what you're talking about because we were discussing it. But we'll go ahead and get started. Everybody, get set for synchronization. Everybody for synchronization. Get your copy for synchronization. Get synchronization. Woo! And now we shall begin the feature. You can find locations to find the film up in the upper right corner. That's not a comprehensive list by any means, though. Just technically, yo-ho. But we are going to begin our feature presentation in 3, 2, 1, go.
I just realized this is probably one of the best movies we could watch for Pride Month.
In a manner of speaking, yes.
Yeah. If people don't know what I'm talking about, I don't think you really watched this movie.
No.
Yeah, originally called the Dragon Empire. I imagine they wanted to make it more about Raya, I suppose.
That tracks.
It's like the opposite of the Tangled title change. Oh,
Which honestly,
that is cool. That is a cool transition. I forgot they did that. Were you expecting the Mickey whistle and then it's just owl hooting?
Yeah. And this is.
Also, in terms of terrain, very nice designs.
Yeah, I think this is definitely showing off the best elements of this movie right here. Is the environmental.
That's not what I was thinking at all. I was thinking, why is everybody like this? But okay. I'm going to be making fun of this. Oh. And then the Fire Nation attacked.
Well,
saying this rips off of Avatar. Well,
yeah, people have made that comparison because varied environments and towns inspired by real world locations, but not actually being those locations.
Okay, but yeah, the plague thing.
Yeah,
I'm like, wow, what? I mean, except
bum.
people weren't turned to stone.
Nope.
Pretty good animation.
It is very pretty.
That is not what happens when a plague gets cured, unfortunately.
Nope. Well, I mean, it's a magic wishing plague.
Yeah, that's what fantasy's all about. Just the wishful thinking that people could come back after dying from a plague.
Yep.
Okay, there's some truth in that.
Some very, very upsetting truth in that. It's time to sequester this shit away. It's gonna make it disappear. And here she goes. These colors are really nice in this. The way that glints right there. Title drop, take a shot.
Yeah, Scribe's right. The borders would have shifted over the years. True. And it was 500 years, so...
You're... No.
Right, probably just a coincidence. She is cute.
Little Raya, little baby Raya. Little.
Quite a baby, more like a preteen Raya.
Little 12-year-old Raya.
This is all some Indiana Jones stuff. I know this character was added last minute, so that she'd have something to write on.
Which seems absolutely bonkers. It's kind of hard to imagine the journey without her adorable steed.
Armadillo-esque kind of thing.
Yeah, this little armadillo pillbug furball.
Seems like she's gonna run into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles any minute now. True. People and making references to Korra when young Raya in that outfit. She does kind of look like she's dressed like Korra.
Everyone's got a water vibe, water tribe vibe, with all their blue outfits here in the Kingdom of Heart.
I really thought it's just that, blue often represents innocence in these Disney princess movies. That's why most of them wear blue. I say most of them, not all.
Yeah.
But it's not just in the princess movies, but like Alice wears blue. Which makes me wonder why pink is often associated with Disney princesses, because the majority of them wear blue.
I mean, Cinderella doesn't wear pink or blue. Her dress is, like, silver.
Well,
they changed it to blue for marketing purposes.
Yeah. No, she wears pink at one point. Remember?
Oh, she does wear pink. You're right. Goddamn. I forgot. Her mom's dress. Anyway, back to this movie. Oh.
I kind of like this introduction, though.
I love the contrast and the light here.
It does feel like something out of a kung fu movie.
Let's go ahead and have Disney, like... You know, let Disney compete with Kung Fu Panda. Let them just do a full martial arts film. Why the hell not?
This is a good way to introduce a character. I'll give them that. And it... Yeah.
Woo. Yep.
Yeah, there's... Yeah.
And of course the dude, because the water, the life in the water, and he's her life.
Do find like it's like she's trying to steal something, but it's really just a...
And going on that, like the whole circle thing. I don't know if that's a real like reverent bow thing or anything, but it is the shape of the dragon, the crystal dragon heart, which, yeah, it's just great.
Anyway, they said that Benja is Fire Lord Ozai in the live-action Avatar series. So this is connected to Avatar.
Oh God.
Yeah, they are sharing a tender moment. She something bad is going to happen to them anytime. Yes.
I mean, I'd say it's hard to replace.
Princess and the Frog has taught us anything.
Yeah, value the little moments.
Anytime we have a good parent, they die.
Yeah. And also, as an Avatar comparison, what are these chinchilla butterfly things?
Hey,
I'm sorry, hybrid animals. There's a whole joke about it in Avatar where it was like, so is that a platypus
really
bear
with the design
or
of
a beaver
world.
bear? It's like, no, it's just a bear. This place is weird. Love her energy.
I think it is significant that we see her in bright blue at the start, and then the rest of the movie she's just in this faded brown.
Yes, but also let's add to this contrast. She's actually not wearing a brighter. She's wearing a darker blue that she and like her father is wearing a light blue on top and a darker blue on the bottom. But she's anyway. But look at this. This aesthetic. This looks exactly like Wish. I think they definitely used whatever.
But
like
this is kind of animated better.
Oh, but because they aren't like cutting out the motion blur, which helps, soften things.
You're even angrier cats are like that.
But anyway, like Raya's wearing the darker shades of blue like her father is wearing on his lower half, but his upper half is wearing a bright blue, showing that he has learned more than she has. She's only halfway there and is literally smaller than him. So his bottom half, the shorter half, not boy. God, Raya, your energy. So the costuming is subtly showing how Raya doesn't fully understand yet. She's only halfway there, which honestly, that's great costume design, that the colors can demonstrate that. It's just really cool. That's just really cute. Aside from the fact that our body of water is very oddly dragon-shaped. I also love the texture on his face. Like, Disney's gotten a lot better. I think I can count his pores, and that's what I think that's something I come back to whenever I say, like, CGI. If you're gonna make your movie CGI, then make it CGI. So being able to see some full texture on his skin, even if it's simplified and cartoonish, is like it's you know, at least I feel that. Like I could see the subtle freckling on only his left cheek. That is something.
There's subtle freckling on Raya too.
Yeah. Well, I'm noticing on him because I was staring at his face for quite a bit there. Hello, everyone. Also love the different colors everybody's wearing. So what was that? That was what was that? Talon, tail, spine, and fang. And actually, what's really interesting is that those colors actually are pretty. But like, if you see their costume choices, like, so the spines are like this blue color. Fang is obviously white, like teeth, like ivory. And the purple talon, and then the yellow tail. There's a yellow tail, kind of like a fish. So it's really cool. How about that airline food? What? Open with a joke. Ha!
Oh, but that little subtle thing there, like, shows up. Oh God.
Yep. Look at him go.
God, these two are so cute.
Look at these two.
Uh,
Would you chalk that up to like a modern day English translation of whatever language they were actually speaking in the movie? Because that
I'm sure
that is some contemporary ass dialogue.
I'm pretty sure that that whatever language they're speaking doesn't use contractions either. But believe me, I was debating that while writing a book that takes place in another country.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I don't put contractions, at least in the languages they're comfortable with, then it's gonna sound so formal. Oh.
And yeah, we're gonna.
Oof.
Yep.
I would have loved it. This movie was more focused on these two.
I mean, I do see like.
Oh my God! She did the hair. She did the hair thing.
Yeah. Bum bum bum. Yeah. Yeah. That's what happens when your
just
nation
around
fractures.
the river bend.
That one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. But like the thing is, Raya actually believes that. Like she's looking at her father, and it's like she actually thinks it could happen. That's kind of a sweet moment. Look,
Okay.
Look at these two. Look at these two.
I know. Okay. Are the same ones voicing the kids as the adults? Or
like just pitched up? Could be. Could be. It kind of sounds.
These two are cute. They should have gone further with this.
Yep. And the reverent little
No.
driving gem salute. Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
And uh-oh.
Yeah, because the mom said, "Go on, it's all right," for a totally different
Yep.
reason.
And here we have a real quick one.
Oh, you tried,
And
buddy.
this-
You tried.
Yeah.
No, because she had planned that from the beginning.
Yes, yes.
She played on just pure child naivety. Oh yeah, so did the
Yeah.
mom. Of course, I blame the mom a lot more though.
Look at her go. Like, they had this game played out from minute whenever they left their kingdom to come here.
And
Like-
unlike with Hans, they probably had this planned out story-wise too ahead of time.
Well, not even that, but like they're just able to establish it in the first like 10 minutes. Yeah, and we're starting to...
You saw that.
Yep.
Sad too,
Yeah.
because this is actually very relevant to today.
How?
Anytime someone tries to speak peacefully, this happens.
And let's be perfectly frank.
I mean, it's literally happening now.
Yeah.
It's still happening in 2021. It's happening now.
It's like... He made the play for peace. And the thing is, I almost recall that there at least could have been a version where one of them said, "Easy for you to say when you have the gem," you know? Which, you know, is true. That is not necessarily... We want to be the arbiters of peace, say the people with all the resources and the...
The thing is, everybody's first thought, there's still magic in them. Okay, we're going to take these, split it up. We're not even going to put it together and make it stronger.
Yeah. Everyone's looking out for themselves. Honestly, maybe they could have gotten by just showing that water repels them. You know, because like...
Show that water repelled them.
No, they did, but then he also said it. It's like, that was a little bit redundant. Hello, Blueheart. And... yeah. And... now he... I mean, in truth, Fizzy, you're probably... That's not a bad idea, but nobody would have heeded any mind. Somebody would have betrayed someone at some point, break the embargo and shit. But yeah, poor Raya, having to be put through that. Literally seeing her father turned to stone in front of her.
Flashback.
6 years later.
I was saying that apparently the voice actresses for Raya and what's her name? Why do I
Namari.
keep forgetting her name?
Namari.
Lamari?
Namari with an N.
Namari, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that they played it like they had some, romantic chemistry. And I feel like the animators just kind of like, okay, let's play it how it sounds.
Yeah, guys, this movie's kind of gay.
Yeah, I mean, you saw like even when they're kids, like you saw the hair sweep and the fangirling. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, basically.
They went harder on that, and they could have, because they were making the Owl House at the same time. So why didn't they?
Disney TV and Disney Features are entirely different departments. They don't communicate with each other. I mean,
But she's explored all those rivers up to this point. Yeah, and see, now she's just shrouded in
browns
and dust.
and dirts and dusts.
The water's dried up. Oh, she survived this long.
Yep. And honestly, it's kind of surprising that they didn't... that she didn't just happen upon this location before searching, like, 2 others.
Two others. No. It's like there were hundreds of rivers. They established that in the beginning.
Yeah, but my thought is, like, this could have been, like, her third to last to find. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, because coincidence is real.
I mean, it's also a very big terrain, which takes a lot of time to trek.
Sure.
And she could have also, on top of being on the run from everybody else that wants to kill her.
For her
A lot
gem.
could have happened. A lot of stuff going on in 6 years.
Yep. And the river goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and trickle. But this environment is
River
really...
that she was thrown in by her father took her.
I think Raya is supposed to be like 20. If it was 6 years later, that means she would have been
18 at the very least. Maybe around. If she was like 12 in the flashback.
And 6 years later would have been 18, so... yeah.
Rivers, how many is she? Jeez.
Yeah.
Girl's dedicated.
She's definitely motivated. Love that little shrug. Her facial expressions here are really well done. And yeah, it
is actually a pretty heavy thing to be carrying.
You gotta give props to the animators here on this shot. Did really good with the body language and everything. Just feels very, very natural. Also gonna give some props to the CG modelers for her face to be able to look like that, because you need a lot of different
languages, please let me know. Because there are a whole bunch of different languages in Asia that I am not familiar with.
Yeah, and that's even if this wasn't just some fake language like Elvish or Klingon. And hello.
Tuk-Tuk's like, you okay? Wow, she was so into her emotions, so she didn't even notice what was happening.
Like you would? Like you could
Scribe
barely.
says it's the
You could barely
blend
hear
of
it.
them all.
How that would work. Whoops.
How do you feel about this character and her role in here? But at the very least, Aquafina, no matter what she does, is just awesome.
Yeah. She could be fun. She could be fun.
She's got that voice. She's got that energy. Of course, you realize she's been like in maybe every major animated movie company by now. So she's doing DreamWorks and oh. Like Mushu meets the genie coming out of the lamp.
Basically.
Okay, that was good.
Yeah.
Well timed. You broke it.
Good comedy.
Broke it. You broke it.
I love this line here.
God, I forgot how funny Aquafina really is.
Yeah.
That dialogue's pretty good there.
She can be a lot of fun. But I forgot how fun she is.
Prove that one. Swim instructor here. Sisu was gonna be a male dragon, but it resembled Mushu too much. That's fair. And
I mean the fast talking comedy dragon definitely a good shift, honestly.
And make her blue.
Her concept design though, with the big large fangs and the hello
and a bit more furry than scaly,
and the white and the white colors with the pink and the blue, I feel like that would have been so much more fun.
Oh, here she is.
Hello.
God, seriously, it's like they unknowingly made this for lesbians.
Hello, Mohawk.
This is similar hairdo to my Aunt Michelle, who is gay, by the way.
And she's shown who she's been.
Sure, you just don't want to see your potential girlfriend again?
Big kitty.
I do.
Nope. Bye. Yep. Hmm. Yeah. I love the way she's flipping around
like
here.
lasers. Show off.
I love that.
Backstroke is tricky to put together if you don't know the mechanics of it.
Honestly, I think you love her or you hate her, but I really do like Sisu. She's funny.
Yeah, I will say mostly the problem with this movie is just the message doesn't work in the way they set it up.
Yeah, well, I love that facial expressions.
Yeah, except last time someone gave her a gift. I mean, that is kind of calling back to what happened in the beginning. Of course, explosive farts. It's like, did you steal that from DreamWorks Disney? Because that's more their thing.
Slick. I think because Sisu, I think you see that, Squad, because Sisu's just got that chaotic energy. No kidding.
Yeah, and that's why we don't get to see much of Tail, unfortunately. That is kind of dark, though.
Whoops. Task failed successfully. Because...
Of course, her being overly cautious is actually helping them here.
No kidding.
It's like, oh, I get it.
Release the pressure from the wrist.
Doing all Indiana Jones shit here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Honestly, some of this feels like more Indiana Jones than Avatar.
And this is something that some dragons in folklore can do.
That form of her looks so cute.
Oh boy, here she comes.
Oh, damn. Thank you.
Look at them bouncing off each other.
Yeah. Told you, the voice actors really laid on the gay for this.
Slick thinking, Raya.
They went, yeah, see if they went with like a whole enemies to lovers thing, just, well, actually friends to enemies to lovers thing, like Catra and Adora, it would have really made this movie.
So which way did they come in to avoid these things? Off we go. Whoop.
The babysat kept saying tuk tuk roll, and then they do like somersaults.
Again, what the fuck does Binturi mean? Ha!
Salted cats. I don't know. Some of the bigger cats, like the tigers, are all for what? I mean, I guess they're not tigers.
Tuk Tuk seems amiable to water, though.
And the reason behind that is evolution. But
Binturi traitor. All right.
Kid's got a lot of energy. Never mind.
Huh.
She's see, swimming does help.
Off she goes. Vroom vroom.
And this kid why you should learn how to swim. I'm joking. I don't try this at home. Back. You know, technically she's a Disney princess too.
Yeah. Off back home they go. God, it's pretty. Look at how pretty this is.
Yeah, imagine being locked away 500 years and then you're back in the water. That gotta be nice.
Yeah. And I'm just imagining Sisu being white with pink and blue accents and how much she would stand out against the background art because of that.
Yeah, but now that I think about it, you know, it's also kind of referring to how she was dressed in blue for water and...
Yeah.
Well, you were so eager to show off Sisu to Namari there, so... Well, then why did you tell Namari about Sisu? And you know what? Very good point there.
She is not wrong.
And, you know, being overly cautious did help you out of there.
Yeah.
Like her oversized sleeves. I would not survive.
Yeah.
I would not survive in Southeast Asia with all their spices.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, I haven't eaten for 500 years.
I mean, how many scoops of that did you put in there?
Raya's trying not to laugh. Yeah.
That sky is really pretty.
I love their mode of transportation.
Yeah,
if nothing else,
Big
they
Kitty.
really put some effort into the world building here.
They did. They didn't give us all the answers, but they do feel like they know the rules. They know what the rules are.
Okay, and unlike Avatar, they didn't just arbitrarily go fire, water, earth, and all that. I mean,
I don't even think that was arbitrary.
no. I mean, like they're comparing it to Avatar, but it's like more, not so much elemental, but like terrestrial, geographical differences. Because we had the island that was closer to the water, and
because the truth of the matter is that the biggest difference between these people is where they are, and not so much who they are.
I like that. They showed Namari that she is portrayed as the antagonist here, but she has as much respect for the
which at that moment makes the question of what was she telling her that was true, what was all a lie.
Oh yeah, you've been you've been hanging out in the water. Oh. Damn.
I feel like we have the same animator who was doing Raya's scene earlier, because I'm seeing that really good.
Damn.
Really, really good.
The fact that this came out when COVID happened.
Right?
It's like explaining to kids like why people are dying or why we can't go to school anymore.
And that's
they didn't even know this was happening when they were making this movie.
And that's why they've cupped the hands. That's why they're all posed like that. It's a cultural thing specific to this movie. Specific to this world. Which is really nice. Then again, it's probably inspired by something real, because it does look like something.
Well, also you'll see what the cupped hands are all about towards the end of the movie.
That's also true. There's the other thing. There's the other thing when it was like, because we're all pointing out the water. The water is life. Water is healing.
Surprising that Raya doesn't end up singing with this water. I know it's not a musical.
At least she still has that water.
But the importance of that thing is showing that, like, this kid is from one of the enemy cultures, but it's still the shared trauma.
Talon. Yep.
Remember, that's like from her perspective.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Look at her. Look at her mothering the hundreds-year-old dragon. Just interesting. Interesting.
Now, what is it supposed to be? Like, sort of Vietnamese-ish?
There is an actual town. There is that's on the water like this. Even inspired an episode.
I'm not as much an expert in Southeast Asia as some other things. Yeah, when I first saw this thing in the trailer. Okay, but I don't know. The design on that baby does not look real. You know what I mean? It doesn't look right for some reason. I mean, look at the face. Just
that baby is cute, though. I'm pretty
Oh
sure.
man, do not take financial advice from a 10-year-old.
Also, a 10-year-old from a completely different township and culture.
Now this is kind of accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she still got everybody's stuff. I'd be mad too, shopkeepers, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
Like, can he let her get the stuff back though?
And off they go to the races.
About that baby's face, it just doesn't look like it fits.
Like, they made the baby too realistic looking compared to this cartoon world.
This doesn't even look realistic.
There's something uncanny about her appearance. Way to go, Tuk Tuk.
I mean, we've had Boo from Monsters Inc. looking more like she belongs in this world. I mean, distraction. And no one's going to take a baby and monkey seriously. They're like, you know, we're bored. We do nothing but stand here all day. I imagine being a guard is like one of the most boring jobs ever.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh no.
Man, I don't even remember half of this.
Uh-oh. Yeah. You could just you've just been leading her into the shadow. The furthest away from the water.
Teaching us that we really shouldn't trust people. Oh man, how many people had they thrown out here just to die? Damn.
Woof! All right.
Yeah, Sisu should have learned from this moment. Well, this baby.
Yeah.
There'll be babies like that in swim class. They're just too cute that you feel like you're gonna die.
Skipping on ahead to Fang,
Re-
where our
Looks like something out of
friends have
Wakanda
arrived.
almost. The fact that she's showing off that, like, on scepter.
And off they go. Hmm.
The fact that they're all in white, too.
Yeah.
Just as a contrast, how, you know, the villains are always dressed in dark colors, and here they're dressed in light colors.
Some others really thinking. And so, next step on the map.
Yeah, their relationship's interesting. The mother-daughter relationship. Ugh.
Hot.
Oh yeah, because the spice. God, like, you really want to F her up or just F her? God. Yeah, that is a good question.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, everyone here is pretty big-headed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Disney thing. Big heads. Well, actually, in this case, it was because he trusted someone. Or remember, the world's broken because other people are not trusting anybody.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm.
Oof.
Now, what they could have turned around is that, you know, her actions are just, you hear, she even says that it's solely for her father and not thinking about the bigger picture here. I think that would have been a better focus.
Yeah, the one-track mindedness of it all would have been much better.
Never works in your case. Thank you. Wait, how did he tie them up while they were still in the bag? Nothing
I
fell
love this
obviously.
man's energy. Love his animation.
Guy's dialogue.
Yeah.
Damn. That's two things. What is this? Five Nights at Freddy's?
Right.
He reminds me of the Cowardly Lion.
He does. He really does.
Just a little more colorful language. Yeah, this guy does sound like he had fun voice acting.
Yeah.
The voice actors had fun in whatever role they were given here. Aww. I do like how he's just instantly daddy instincts kick in. Oh.
But
damn. Because they were stupid about it and just ran into danger.
Headstrong.
I forgot about that.
Very headstrong.
Mammoth, a little mammoth toy too. Yeah, she loves me.
Yeah.
But it sees that she does still care about the people. The moniker. Now, see, this is a moment of trust that worked.
Mm-hmm. Love that line.
Now that's a shot.
No shit, it's a shot.
Oh God. Oh God. Just kiss already, you two.
Good Lord.
I mean, come on, listen to their voices.
You cut the tension with one of those swords over there. The choreography is actually really good too.
Like, man, is it hot in here or is it just those two?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. I'm coming straight on for you.
Well, there's nothing straight about this. Anyway. Yeah. And off to the races.
I mean, come on. Sisu had to come back for her.
Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh, whoa. What? Did you see their expression there?
Yeah.
Like, oh my lord. Like,
And just the way she
yeah,
just
yes.
alone
Yeah, shipping
in the
Ryan and
mist.
Amari for XX minutes. You bet I am. I mean, how can you not? Unless you're homophobic.
All right. And off we go. Yeah. Yeah.
But notice we don't get. Oh, no, wait. We do get someone for tail.
And then. And a new power.
Yes, and here's where I feel we should have spent more time with the tribes subscribed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm realizing that a lot of the different powers of the siblings have to do with water somehow. I mean, fog
Yep.
is water in the air, and even shape-shifting. And water is often associated with transformations.
Yep. Rain.
And glow, well,
Rain, which
I think the
very much hasn't
phosphorescence,
happened.
the glow phosphorescence of some sea creatures.
Oh, God, that's beautiful. This is a beautiful shot. Right here. That was great. The splash zone. She just feels right at home.
Yeah, there are some beautifully animated scenes in this movie.
I love the steps. I love these hillsides are great.
Great reminder that the composer for this movie is the same one who did Treasure Planet. That explains a lot.
It's a very beautiful score. I can definitely see why you mentioned that in the last scenes. That was probably the most beautiful. Bum.
As we were in Ocean's 8, which Aquafina was also in. And watch how it does not go this way. It never goes the way they.
Yep.
Ah!
And here they go with this
I love this, actually.
bad axery. Good lord.
This reminds me of an episode of She-Ra.
Wasn't it the one where they were playing D&D?
Such a playing D&D and coming up with their heist.
Yeah.
Give her.
Everyone's faces.
Yeah, yeah.
Also love in the color palette of their nations. Raya's not wearing blue, but everybody else is wearing their colors. Boone is wearing yellow for tail. Purple
I told
for...
you, because now her pretty much water-centric city has become desert.
Yep.
It's all dried up. She's dried up. I can show you the world.
I think we finally...
How do you climb that thing?
And
I guess
very slowly.
Or maybe I think there was like a passage inside. Or I guess if we don't climb that, we fly to it.
Yep.
See.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. And now, he's cupping the water. And then... Oof. Kaboom.
That it's because he made the pose.
Mm-hmm.
A bit more.
You just think about this, the way that they're framing this.
You're right, Scribe. Trust of a siblings is different from a trust of friends, and especially one who stabbed you in the back.
She wasn't even a friend.
Before.
She met her for like 4 hours.
But yeah, like if they, it's not so much the story, just that trust is not the moral here.
At the very least, it shouldn't be.
Yeah, like I don't think Disney understood what theme they ended up here.
Yeah. You know, I think Raya just said it right there, hopeful. The theme of the film probably should have been hope. That the reason that no one is giving up is because they still have hope. You know?
You know, unity over separation. That's what I mean. And like any other theme could have worked.
Yeah.
Okay, that is funny.
Ooh.
I mean, that is something you should give her. I'll give you that. Not take care of anyone else. I do like showing the moments with Princess Namari. Like, to Raya, she's an antagonist, but she is also human. Because it was literally you. Blame me for what happened, because it really was what happened. Take accountability. Saying that it should have been about found family rather than trust. Yeah, yes, this is what I mean. Any other theme would have worked.
Yeah.
Well, God, I really love that guy's line. Yeah. Yeah, not unity through trust. Maybe something like, yes, or peace through accountability. Yes, the people of Fang need to take accountability of what they did.
There's so many different angles they could have taken on this. But the father's whole thing wasn't about trusting people blindly. It was about a hope for a better future.
It's like Disney wrote the story and they're like, okay, so what is this story about? And they couldn't figure out what it was about.
Yeah. You need a central thesis for your story. They chose trust. And they didn't handle it very well.
Yeah, you know, if Raya had been the one here, it would have been like an Aladdin moment, or like Princess Namari.
Oh my God! Can you imagine?
Oh God! Let's do us completely rewrite the plot into a love story.
Yeah, I mean.
The dynamics between these characters is really fun. Oh, now that's a good callback.
Yeah.
Now see, unity in the soup here too. Oh my God.
No.
God, the baby. Oh, that is so cute. This guy is daddy. You saw that he did have a baby, right? He had a baby.
Or at the very least, or at least they were expecting a baby.
Yeah, there was the little crib that was in the corner. No, that's a reasonable boundary there.
And look at what she happens to have in her hand. Gee, I sure hope Namari isn't hiding anything behind that conspicuous rock.
Oh, damn.
Right here.
That's the what the part about me rewriting into a love story, or pretty much, yeah.
Or like, you know, actually checking the baby's name.
Yeah, yes, this would have been an interesting Romeo and Juliet story, yes. Without the dying in the end. Although no, you don't. No, you don't, man.
You can see the nervousness on... And here's the thing. Raya puts down her blade. Namari has her finger on the trigger.
Okay, they went hard on that shot.
And there goes the gem. Well, that's terrifying.
Oh, now I get how the water repels them, and now that Sisu's gone, I think. Oh, okay. Oh.
Yep.
Oh. No, that is interesting. I didn't notice that the first time around. I get it. I get it now. I get it. And this is because you couldn't take accountability and just reform the gem pieces, and then. Yeah, you're right. Cece's death does feel a bit forced, and maybe I'm not crying as much over it. Well, maybe because I just know how these Disney movies go. I don't know.
And also look who Namari is standing directly in front of. Yep. Ooh. Love the way they framed the mother there. It was really good. Again, no words, just having her statue there and the pain in her voice. And now there actually seems to be intent to kill.
They do show that, like, people from different parts that are holding the gems now.
Mm-hmm. Now that much I do buy. Because, well, she really is. Because Raya is losing sight of the bigger picture. Like, she's, like...
Yeah,
I know how to.
What I said before.
I know how to push Namari's buttons. She says. Then, like days later, she's thrown into a blind fury by Namari, and now is just one-track minding herself.
Yeah, that was funny.
What water?
What's left of it, I suppose.
I suppose they're just gonna have to go downstream. Yeah, I guess the only water left would be
rage, while the others are thinking about the people who could fetch. Yeah.
And this is the dialogue that ends up where the movie is full of shit. This is the moment where the entire thesis of this story comes crumbling down. As soon as they have a break in the fight, which as soon as she loses the other sword, there we go. Just kick her ass.
Wow. Okay, they really went hard on this fight.
And then dropped the thing, and then of course.
You did finger on the trigger.
Liar. No, she's not. Liar with the fire on the pants. Like, no.
Like, we've gone with you know.
And the thing is, they framed the shots.
Just, you know,
the thing is,
we want the world to be better too.
They framed the shots, right? They framed the shots so that the audience would notice that the only reason that Amari's finger came down on the trigger was because Raya shot her blade and like made her hand slip. And it's like they show that, and that's what we're getting across. But it's like, no, you assholes, that's not how that works. If Raya had a shield instead of a sword, and she threw that, and that was the reason that Namari pulled the trigger, would you then say that Raya is responsible for Sisu's death? No, she was acting in defense.
If it had been more like that, you know, I didn't want the world to fall apart like this, but it was still my fault, or something like that. Like, you think you're the only one who's been feeling guilty about what happened?
That's the thing, Blueheart. That's the way the film is framing the shots. But that's not how this kind of accountability shit works, right?
Yeah, writer's saying that the film tries to say Raya was wrong and not trusting Amari. Like, no.
Which is not true.
Like, there was nothing up to that point that gave her a reason to trust Namari.
Namari has always been the source of these problems. And again, this is dialogue, like, we didn't need that there. She just looks at Sisu. There's an overabundance of dialogue where it's not needed, like, the water repels them, or, like, the repeating of what Sisu said instead of just looking at the figure of Sisu for just a whole 5 seconds. And also, she's spelling it out. Are you listening, children? Do you understand what the moral of the story is? Do you know what trust is about? Yeah, kids, do you understand me? We won't trust her ever. Again, it feels like there is dialogue that doesn't need to be here.
Oh, holding. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, no, no, I get it.
Again, could have made this movie 100 times better.
Yeah.
Although that is a power move, I'll say. That is a power move.
Yeah, it is. But also,
it would have had more weight if...
See, it probably would have had way more weight if, again, with no dialogue at all. There's something that they had to do. Is that with no dialogue at all, Raya... Like, it isn't Raya who comes to term with Sisu's, like, dragon thing. And instead, with absolutely no benefit to herself, Namari gives Raya her gem piece. And then it all ends with... The movie movie's called Raya and the Last Dragon, not Namari and the Last Dragon.
Yeah, you're right.
Raya really needed her not so fast Jafar, aren't you forgetting something moment, because she's the title character. She needed to live to see the Droon defeated. It's her story.
Yeah, you're right. Namari.
And the thing is,
right. Namari should have been the one to step into the Droon.
If Namari sacrificed herself to the Droon, then it would prove Sisu's point about trust without beating us over the head with like overly emphasized dialogue, right?
Yeah. Still would have worked if Raya was the one who did this.
Yeah.
Like instead of running away with the gem.
It does not matter who does it. That's kind of why it's like, and like hell, even if it was Raya looking at Sisu's like, everyone give Namari your gems, it's like, after all she's done, and then the boy says never, and then Raya like pleading eyes, but then Namari says, then let me take the first step, right? Like, what if we just literally shifted the dialogue around? It's just it feels so simple, like on the surface. I'm talking over this because it's pretty, but it's like this is the empty space in the story where it's like everyone is dead for all intents and purposes. And because Raya learned to trust, the dragon people deserve dragons once again, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it had a good setup, but it just
the payoff was where it died. Yeah. And the water representing life, and they're holding the water. They're holding the water in their hands.
And you know what? When we get to Wish, I feel like I had the opposite. Like, it had a potential, it had a good payoff without the setup. You know what I mean?
No, yes, that is, and we'll get there. But I actually agree wholeheartedly. But we'll get there. For this movie, though, how much more powerful would this moment have been if Namari was the one to make the first step? Right? Come the fuck on.
Yes. Also, now kiss.
Exactly. Because I love you, you idiot. I mean, think about it. Raya's got the special sword, and she's got the cats, so...
You're pretty much... But no, Dreamwish was braver.
But I mean, like, I think as far... And again, comparatively, like, She-Ra had a whole series. They had a whole television series of, like, 2 or 3 seasons to flesh out all the characters, not just Eudora and Katja, but all the characters, and really flesh it out and make it like, Adora. Why did I say Eudora? Oh, that's Tiana's mother, son of a bitch.
Yes, exactly.
Anyway. I love Tuk Tuk. I love this big furry armadillo beetle. Aw, shit, man. They got dragons.
Shitty. Yes, GF grabs Toy, Raya, and Namari. Now kiss.
Yes.
Squad saying Wish was more watchable than the third act of this film, in my opinion. I was enjoying it up to the third act here.
I mean, let's be fair. Yeah, this movie, like, I forgot how much I actually enjoyed Sisu's comedy. Like, Awkwafina, people may be sick of her. I'm even starting to get sick of her. But when she's in the right role, she can be a lot of fun. You know what? I like her in this. I like her in The Bad Guys. I like her in... You know, I even thought she was pretty good in the live-action Little Mermaid. I'll say it. Scuttlebutt was not bad.
I killed the prince yet. You're gonna miss the girl. Like she knows how to have fun.
Actually, I think Kung Fu Panda 4, I was kind of getting sick of her because, like, that's not even a different.
I still have yet to watch that movie.
That's just Awkwafina.
I've heard mixed stuff though.
It's good. It's just not great.
Yeah, Sisu. Did you do kiss yet?
It's like people are going to be split. You either like the fourth movie better than the third movie, or the third movie better than the fourth. But anyway, but look at this. It's so pretty in the magic. And God, I really wish Chisu was white with pink and blue accents because that design was so pretty. Ah.
A water dragon blue. I personally like the purple and blue here.
But the thing is that if she was white with pink and blue highlights, she would have been more about unity. Like, because white is all the colors of the rainbow. It's light in its purest form, you know?
But she's so fuzzy.
And fuzzy, yes. I gotta hand it to him.
You know what? She's got Sully colors.
Yeah.
She got Sully colors. Cutest.
Honestly, another thing I really wish they could have done was actually give Raya the lizard slit eyes back at Spine, because she would have looked so much more intimidating there. I don't even think they built her model with that capability.
Are you talking about give Raya the slit eyes?
No, did I say Raya? No, I meant
that's why I'm confused.
I meant Sisu. I meant giving Sisu the slit eyes, the slit dragon eyes. I don't think they built that into her model, but like, they did already have a baby.
Oh my God, it's a cute little baby, and this baby get her parents.
Oh,
aw, that is sweet. Everybody reuniting with their families. That is sweet.
Yep. Why did they transition from water to grass? Oh, I guess that's why.
The dragons need more color. That wasn't enough color for you? That's a whole lot of color.
Well, if they're water dragons, maybe they could have looked more like a coral reef, which they looked more like sweet tarts, Smarties. I don't know. They felt like a very pastel.
Coral reefs can be pretty vibrant.
That's what I'm saying. The dragons were much more like.
Oh damn!
The colors were
and
too
the dad's
close together.
like, "You grew up, and I missed out on 68 years. Jeez."
But Lord willing, those are like 6 years of life he gets, like on the end of his life, that he just disappeared.
Yeah, but how would you feel if, like, you were in a coma and then you wake up years later and your little kids are all grown?
I mean, you can you can pretty much say that in like that was probably one of the best things in Avengers Endgame, when Scott Lang Ant-Man met his daughter after coming out of the quantum realm, and it's like, God, that's a moment. And
wait a minute, how does that work? Oh yeah, that daughter. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't follow Marvel so much.
Yeah. Anyway. And instead of being separated, they're all intermingled.
And this plethora of
also, you want to point out that this purple,
yellow.
orange, and yellow all coming together kind of looks like the Lantern Festival from Tangled.
And well, the greenish.
But all I can see are the whites, golds, and purples.
Yes, but can we talk Queenie there about what you did? Can we take accountability, please? Not even a damn apology. Because, even Namari, like, she was manipulated by her mother as a child. Mm-hmm. But what the hell is the queen's excuse?
And that's the thing. Namari seemed like she was, like, not, like, full-on brainwashed. Like, we have a different solution, mother. The world can be saved if we just, we have to be the ones to do it. We have to look good in the public eye. And the mother very much, oh my God, is that Izzy Moombo?
Right.
Title drop, take a shot. I ran out of root beer.
Yeah, gonna be hard to erase years of separation. That would be Raya and the Last Dragon 2. God forbid. Look, if there's a sequel, please make it Namari and Raya canon. They're like one of the things that's palatable about this. So I think we can agree. Yeah, as we said, setup was good. Payoff did not match the setup.
I want to point out, it's been so long since I watched this movie, but God, okay, Ralph Breaks the Internet's awful. This movie, I think people were way too mean to it. Like, aside from that third act and maybe a bit of overbearing dialogue that was definitely like, hey kids, are you paying attention? It's like, it's not bad. It's actually not bad. You know, it's
well animated.
It's well animated.
The
designs are pretty good. The world building is probably the best in like any Disney movie. Like foregoing things like fucking Treasure Planet was really well set up. It's like, okay, it's Victorian era and it's in space. You put those things together and the logic just kind of follows from there. Like they have sonars, but they're on boats. They're on galleons, which is like, that's so clever.
Trashing on this, and that way you're gonna be trashing on this a lot. But you know, aside from like the third act, we weren't trashing on it very much.
No, I'm gonna say this for posterity. I originally named this stream "Raya and My Last Nerve," year 2020. Fuck it, but I'm gonna change it. Because you know what? I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change it to what it actually is. I was gonna leave it like that, but my opinions on the film are definitely far more favorable than I would have thought.
Scribe saying it's not great representation, though. Yeah.
As far as like
now,
Southeast Asian,
at this, I've heard that it's more like surface representation than legit representation.
I mean, kind of the same shit that fucking Big Hero 6 did, but nobody noticed because that was a superhero movie. This movie drenches itself in Southeast Asian iconography, at least. Like the town that is on the boardwalk, that's inspired by a real place. Even Avatar, The Last Airbender, had a location based on that in the third season in the Fire Nation. But like, as far as this movie is concerned, a lot of the shit is surface level, fairly inaccurate from what I've heard from people. Zirin J Zhao, on their YouTube channel, who originally started their YouTube channel to dunk on the live-action Mulan movie, and deservedly so, eventually got a bunch of different people together to discuss their thoughts. What? Sandra Oh as Verana? As the queen?
Yeah, I think so. Sandra Oh, keep talking. I was like, where do I know Sandra Oh
from?
That sounds really familiar.
Kingdom off of a particular country? No, see, that's the thing. It's uncertain. Writer says yes. But the Turning Red mom. Oh!
Thank you. The Turning Red mom.
Red.
Also, she was one of the princesses in Mulan too.
I hear it.
That's what I was thinking.
She was like the oldest sister, right?
Yeah.
Oh god,
Ting,
yeah.
So.
By the way, I'll mention that in a minute. But like, if you want to go to Zirin J Zhao's channel. They're always posting new stuff. They have like 2 books published. I think it's 2 books. They just have a ton of fun stuff on their channel. If you want to understand what is absolutely wrong with a live-action Mulan and what Disney got right, as well as got a little inaccurate in the original take on Mulan, then you can have that. And they also covered Mulan 2 as well. On the topic of Mulan 2, because you mentioned it, it just reminded me of the I Want to Be Like Other Girls song, where they have that like painted portrait like holding a lily. It's like, and the music and the way they're posing, it's like, oh god, how is the direct-to-video sequel more racist than the movie that came out earlier? That's just bonkers to me.
Think of is, how are the actors okay with it?
I don't think they technically are. It's just 2000s casual racism, you know. It's because it was still very much a thing. But yeah. Unfortunately, I think all that talking, I managed to pass up on the animators part. So, and also casting director, because you know what? The cast was on point. Like, good job. That's actually a very smart writer. Yeah, the idea of like more like hodgepodging the cultures together rather than making them specific was to not make a specific country the bad guy. You know, unlike Avatar: The Last Airbender, again, bringing this up because everybody brings it up. Avatar: The Last Airbender very much made the Fire Nation Japanese inspired, which makes sense for a number of different reasons, not the least of which being that the Fire Nation's red and black color scheme and Japan's side in World War II and the Third Reich is very much where Avatar gets its influence from, at least partially. That fascist regime was definitely a part of Avatar's influence in the same way as it was for Star Wars. I mean, hell, I mean, they pay homage to Star Wars multiple times, but the real kicker is that they weren't afraid to do that. They weren't afraid to do that because they were also showing the good, because it's like, it's more so the government that was the problem. It was the Fire Lord who was the problem, but the people are innocent, you know?
And at least what I've seen from Japanese nowadays, they take full accountability for what their ancestors did.
Kind of also why there's specific, like, laws in Germany about what you can or cannot do or talk about in media in certain contexts. So... yeah, I think, actually, on the topic of taking accountability, it all kind of wraps back around. That after World War II, all these countries took accountability, and then, but in this movie, the one country that goes and fucks it up for everybody else doesn't take accountability.
Yes.
There were very fine people on all sides of the Dragon River.
God. I'm sorry, that's... I'm sorry.
Yeah, like if they reworked that scene with Raya and Namari, and instead of like, you are as much to blame as I am, like, no, like if instead of
if she just apologized
yes, I did mess
for
it up.
killing her, but, it's like she and here's the thing though. The thing is that it's like it's not even that it's not Raya's fault, because the thing is, the movie frames the shot that Raya, you know, fired the first blow, and that Namari didn't even do it out of self-defense, like that Han's supposed to shot first kind of thing, because Namari was just kind of muscle reflex because her hand got knocked back. She was just protecting herself, so her hand curled up and hit the trigger. And because of that, it is both their faults. But the thing is, if Namari in that moment took the brunt of the blame, then Raya would have realized her hand in it as well. But for her saying you're as much to blame as Sisu's death, it's like gaslighting central, honey bunny, because when you say that you're just as much to blame as I am, it's like, oh, so you're taking accountability, but you're also saying, well, you did it too. It's like, no. You know, when your parents say...
that's not an apology. That is not an apology.
Because you know when your parents say, I don't care who started it, half the time, you probably shouldn't listen to them. But the other half of the time, they're right.
Yeah.
Just apologize for your hand in it, and don't even mention that the other person is at fault. Because it's like, why is it's like, I'm sorry, but no, there shouldn't be a but. It should be, I am so sorry. You know, it's like, those are the only words that should be coming out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Miss.
Unless it really was their fault.
Again, and it wasn't. They both had a hand in it.
In this case,
they both had a hand in it, so Namari should have just taken the brunt of the blame. But for her to be so backhanded in her, like, you are just as much to blame. She's both sidesing this thing, like, it's just so, like...
Yeah, it's like the opposite of the apology that counterpoint where they did the apology and reconciliation well was when Judy was apologizing to Nick for what she did. She didn't say that like you were being too sensitive. She was like, yes, I am just a dumb bunny and I was closed-minded and all that.
And because and even more in that situation, like Nick was also being a little emotional, a little short-sighted there. But she hurt him, touched a nerve in his PTSD and everything, right? Like this is some deep-seated shit for him.
Even after knowing what he went through, too. Yes. So of course he was being emotional. You'd be emotional too.
And of course, then she comes back to Nick like she didn't just address the entirety of Zootopia's like news media just with, you know, this crazy theory. And then she's like, well, I think that went pretty well. I was like, oh, you think that went pretty well? Because what it looked like to me is that you basically went up there and condemned an entire half of our species of like animals here, you know. in the predator prey dichotomy, I think you came down pretty hard. I think it's pretty clear where you stand on this issue. Which is why she also stepped down. You know, that's why she stepped down. Is everything in Zootopia worked. When you take the metaphor like literally, it's kind of like when you take the race metaphor literally, it's kind of confused. But the movie's still really good on its own. Like
okay,
creative legacy Eric Goldberg.
Yeah, writer saying Gemma Chan and Kelly Marie Tran. Wow, rhyming names. Did a great job as Namaria and Raya. Maybe the sequel could be Namaria and Raya building trust. Or, you know, building other things.
Or maybe it could be like, hey, you know, trying to kill each other builds some kind of tension. But, you know, I don't think Disney could make a movie like that.
They should.
No, I don't think you understand where I was going with that.
No. Apparently. I have no idea where you're going with that, apparently.
The kind of tension that can be built from, you know, fighting, being short of breath and all sweaty. Just saying. Definitely can't do that in a Disney movie. Anyway, that was Raya and the Last Dragon, everybody. Good movie, actually. It's not great.
Did not quite stick with their moral, though.
They kind of fumbled the bag on the message they wanted to tell. Oh, don't act so surprised, Ryder. You know me. A
Raya series would be interesting, I would say. There's definitely potential for it.
See, that's the other thing. It's like Tangled was such a one and done story, but with Frozen, it was like so open. I thought Frozen should have gotten the TV series, especially with how much more popular it was than Tangled. But I guess the creative team was like, no, we don't want to do a Frozen show. We want to do a Tangled show. And here's the ideas we have for it. And then creative heads at Disney TV are like, all right, I'm game.
Well, to be fair, the Tangled series did turn out pretty well.
Yeah. You know, it's good. It's good. I think I need to go back. I think I need to go back to it because, like, I think I dismissed it at a certain point, but still kept watching. So I think I need to go back and rewatch it because going back and rewatching this, I'm finding out what a hidden dragon gem of a movie. Because, like, everyone was shitting on it that they just kind of... Kelly Marie Tran gets a bad rep and it's really unfair. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what the hell people got mad at her about, so I'm not going to even mention that because we're almost done for tonight, unless you know.
No, this is the first time I'm hearing this. I haven't been following, like, the cast behind this as much.
Yeah, but... Yeah, I don't know what that was about, but I remember people getting upset. Oh, The Last Jedi. Oh, that's not even something to be mad at her again.
Wait,
about.
People didn't like her in The Last Jedi. Oh, right, she was that character Rose. Why did people not even like her?
I liked Rose.
I didn't see any problem with her.
The Last Jedi was great.
You know, were people just mad because they couldn't ship certain characters with what's his name? See, I don't even remember.
Finn and Poe.
Finn, yes, yeah, Finn and Poe. Like, she didn't even feel so contrived in there. Just like, okay, we just got another handy female character. Like, I don't get it. Why?
And besides, guys, you.
And how is that the actress's fault that you don't like her character?
Guys, come on, polycule. It's fan fiction. If you really wanted to write your romances, a polycule is always a suggestion. Anyway, yeah. But that's gonna be it for Raya and the Last Dragon. Honestly, thank you all so much for joining us on this epic adventure. You know, honestly, I was certainly surprised after the disappointment of Ralph Breaks the Internet again, and the of Frozen 2 again. Raya and the Last Dragon's a breath of fresh air. And you know what? It's good. And you know what? With the whole plague thing, it came out at the right time. It's kind of perfect. God. It's kind of a perfect drop.
It's like Disney. Imagine Disney's surprise. We're like, oh shit. Well, people are going to be upset when this movie comes out.
Yeah. But it's also perfect timing, so we're not changing a damn thing.
But we're going to have lots more fun next week.
Yep. And before I fully tune out, I do want to mention that we had Moana, probably the last hurrah of the Disney revival. And then we hit Ralph, and then we hit Frozen, which was better. And now we hit Raya, but Encanto brings back the powerhouse Lin-Manuel Miranda to do another Disney musical. So until then, remember to take care, stay safe, be kind in all that you do. Adios, everybody!
Yeah.